Chapter 17. Roo woke with a start. A Kriska licked at his face. Roo pushed it aside angrily, and a sharp pain shot through his body. He looked about wildly. He was still on the rooftop. It was late in the day. He must have dozed off. With a groan, he sat up. There was an envelope half sticking out of his top pocket. He remembered the beating. With a shaking hand, he took out the envelope and struggled to tear it open. Inside was a large card, finely printed. He read it to himself. You are cordially invited to enter the Your Tournament of WHISP. Green matches. Venue, Southport Warehouse. Time, midnight. Roo read the date. That was tonight. He lay back down with a groan. He knew he should run. He could still survive on his meagre savings, perhaps steal again until he built up a messenger route in another town. It was a plan. But they had his doll. They said they would destroy Oni if he didn't come. And Pirate Bowl wanted to see him. No one turned down an invitation from the crime lord of yore. Vint had also mentioned a lot of coin was involved. Roo struggled to his feet. He fought down a wave of nausea and began limping back to the merchant square. He had to lower himself down to the streets. He didn't have the strength to climb or leap the rooftops. He pulled his hood over his head and ducked low as he joined the pull of the crowd. The jostling mass of people sent jolts of pain through Roo with every bump. The back of his skull began to throb with a splitting headache. Twice he had to veer off into an alley to throw up, crouching in a cold sweat, waiting for his strength to return. All he wanted to do was curl into a little ball and sleep. Unfortunately, he still had messages to deliver and needed coin more than ever. He also had to figure out a way to rescue Oni. He remembered the bear man's words about how the dolls couldn't be hurt. Then he remembered the look in Oni's eye when he said he should never have taken him, that he had ruined everything. They could be hurt all right. The thought of Oni being forced to be a thief, of waking up to a new master who wanted to break all the good out of the doll, filled Roo with a desperate despair. That doll would never break. They would destroy him instead. Roo made up his mind then and there that he would rescue the doll, that for once he would be responsible for something, someone, and follow all the way through. A red mist tugged at the edge of his vision, and he found his strength again. Roo jogged on. By the time he made it to the market square and delivered the last of his messages, the sun was settling to the west, turning the clouds orange and purple-blue. Roo decided not to return home. He wasn't even sure if he could make the climb. Instead he sat, leaned against one of the many chimneys of yore, watching the sun set. Even when it had fallen below the horizon, the air was still warm. Roo took a deep breath. It was hard to believe everything that had happened over the last 2 days. His leap off a 3-story building into the ocean would normally have been enough excitement to last him for weeks. Instead, it had just been the start. He journeyed through the cursed town, saw a forbidden game of magic, inherited a doll, battled another doll, stole a gold coin, and got beaten up. And he still had to meet the crime lord of yore and get his doll back, and then leave yore forever. He smiled grimly. He knew he shouldn't have taken that damn doll. He tried to make sense of it all. He couldn't think of a reason why Pirate Bowl would want to meet him. Perhaps Roo had interfered when Vint had stolen the gold coin? But Bowl wouldn't personally meet with a street urchin just to give him a lecture. He would have made an example of him, beaten him and thrown him off the docks, which he could have done already. Maybe he just needed a small boy for some sort of burglary, but he already had plenty of those. Big opportunities for our kind, Vint had said. What was our kind? Thieves and pickpockets? Vint confused him as well with her talk of a rematch. Were they going to have a WHISP battle? What would that prove? Of course Vint would beat him. Roo didn't know how to play the game, and his doll was basically a sponge. Roo shrugged to himself as he reread the invitation. What was a green match? And what was Vint's talk of Roo cheating? How did you cheat a jump? The boy sighed as he settled down to wait until midnight. He would see what Pirate Bowl had to say. Maybe it involved easy money. Then he could watch a few WHISP games. That would be quite exciting. And then he could get beaten by Vint, let the gang leader get her glory back while he got his doll back, and then hopefully leave unharmed. After the day he had, that seemed quite simple and straightforward. The end of chapter 17, and if you enjoyed that, please leave me a like, and I'll catch you for the next chapter. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye.